Yo, 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 you know what time it is? It is episode 140, Clash of the Podcast. Not a week missed, not a time missed. Maybe a little by me and Sean, but Clash of the Podcast has been here every week for y'all. So I hope you stand up, throw some clapping emojis or something in there for us. We got a big episode to talk about tonight. Lots of WWE as usual, good and bad. We're going to get into that. We have a Backlash preview with 4 big, spectacular matches happening this weekend. Can't wait. We're going to talk about all of that, and we're going to get into a little TNA, a little bit of AAA, if they're even still called that, some wrestling news, Dark Side of the Ring, talking a little Eddie Gilbert. Can't wait to pick Sean's brain a little bit about that. Yeah, lots of interesting things happening. And I'm just waiting for my cue at this point. Once I hear my cue, I know what to do. I'm ready. I'm good to go.
I'm happy to be here, man. Conrad, chat, let's do it. Conrad, my brother, drop that thing.
Welcome, everybody. Good to be back in the mix, man. I appreciate everyone who's in here. Lots of likes already. I like it. I like to see that. Thank you, everyone who is showing love, man, and popping in. Appreciate you. If you got comments, leave them. You know we read them. We're an interactive show. Let's get into it. Clown, first one in here.
Cleasy, 1-3Z, 4-Tweezy says good afternoon.
Appreciate you, Clown.
Ray
Thompson.
Always a pleasure. One of the kindest people on social media, man. We appreciate you. Always showing love. Definitely a pleasure to see how you and your family are flourishing, my man. He says, happy Monday, guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We hope the same for you, brother.
Yes. XG Dub, live from my desk at 6:05. Let's clash and hope for no interruptions. I hope that work is going well, brother. Thank you.
We appreciate you, XG Dub.
Ray says Backlash is looking super lackluster. Only match I really want to see is Cena versus Orton. I give you credit for saying that, brother, because even me, I'm like, the nostalgia feels ain't hitting me too hard on that one.
This is what WWE does, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, over the past few years, these pay-per-views PLEs have been very, very subpar. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to end up being a 3-hour show, probably a little bit of filler, probably a whole lot of filler. But right now, it's not looking too entertaining in my book.
Isn't there a UFC show this weekend, too?
There is.
They might be ending before 10. That might be
it's a free show. I think it's a fight night show, if I'm not mistaken, compared to a traditional UFC pay-per-view. I don't think this particular one is a pay-per-view, but if you have ESPN Plus, you can see a fight night. Oh, I'm actually wrong. Joel just corrected me. So it is a pay-per-view this time. So, yes, to answer your question, Conrad, it is an actual full-fledged pay-per-view. Thank you, Guy Will Gamble. And that's probably why the pay-per-view will definitely be over before 10.
That's what I'm thinking. You know who it is, Sean.
The only Vinny we like. We appreciate you being here. Happy Monday, y'all. I got flag football again. Catch up later. Jesus loves y'all, and God bless. Jesus does love you too, Vinny. We appreciate you so much.
Vinny Vin, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Doug says, y'all got in here early today. Another Monday, another clash. Conrad, Sean, chat, teach me. As Sean Dougie's, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and see how it just goes to anything.
It does.
You can Dougie to anything.
Yo, Quilly, what's up, man? The one and only Sir Quills in the building. He says, what's up, Conrad, Sean, and chat? Your boy Sir Quills is back again to enjoy 2 of my favorite bros, CJ and Hubs, for episode 140 of the best wrestling podcast out today, Clash of the By God podcast. Hashtag EPW, hashtag HWW. He goes on to say, let's talk the annual budget cuts, spring cleaning of WWE, talent, shall we? I think we are going to get into that a little bit. We got into that a little bit on Hubbonomics this past Friday, but we're going to definitely dive into it. I definitely feel it's something we should discuss. I know Conrad has some thoughts, and I mean, there were some shockers, though. There were some shockers. Like Cora Jade really stands out to me as a shocker.
Yeah, we'll go through all of those. I promise you guys. It won't be at the top, though, because we're going to talk about something positive at the top, but then we'll get into those releases, though, I promise.
The one and only M. Leezy Fo Sheezy. Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend, and let's kick the week off right with the two aces of our pro wrestling community. We appreciate you, M. Leezy, the unofficial. Maybe we should make him the official, social media correspondent of Clash of the Podcast.
Holding it down in the Discord, man. Make sure that you guys are showing us some love in the Discord, man. Me and Matt have been putting news out like crazy in there. So if you're looking for wrestling discussion, if you're a AAA fan, if you like CMLL, go in there. You probably can help educate some of us on some of the stuff too. But everyone's welcome, man. Join the Discord link if you are a Discord fan. B. Swanson, welcome. Good evening, and many blessings to you all. It's great to see two young brothers continuing to do big things. I appreciate that. Swanson. And my muscles hurt right now, so yeah, I appreciate the flex too.
Swanson, we appreciate you, man. Comments like that make the harder days a little easier. So thank you so much.
Guy Will Gamble saying Europe was good, everybody. Thankful to have this podcast to look forward to today. I appreciate it, man. I hope that we do bring something positive. I know sometimes we get out here and rant and rave, but we're just wrestling fans like everyone else.
Guy Will Gamble, we appreciate you as well, and I appreciate the DMs as well, the encouraging thoughts and things that you have to say. It's very nice. T3Z in the building. For those who are not on YouTube or a place where you're seeing video, I'd like to give respect to the actual name. It's Tero with 3 R's, 317. He says, everything pro wrestling. Should we discuss Alberto Del Rio situation? Does he deserve a second chance? Good question.
It is on the docket, I promise. Today's going to be like boom, 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 quick, fast, but we're going to get through everything. McKinney says, I'm here to talk wrestle with the Fire Live chat. My favorite bros in the wrestling know. Ooh, I like that. Clash of the Podcast, and to let y'all know, smart people know what to say. Wise people know when to say.
McKinney, as I said, M. Leezy is kind of like the unofficial social media correspondent. I would like to say that McKinney is the unofficial, I guess you could say, inspiration as it relates to common outside the world of wrestling influence and encouragement. We appreciate you, McKinney.
For sure, McKinney. All love, brother. Joel says, hey, Sean Conrad, appreciate you, Joel. Welcome.
Joel, always a pleasure. Appreciate you, Drew. Appreciate you for always being here for us. Appreciate that.
Matt letting us know New Japan did have some good shows over the weekend. If you didn't, make sure you check out Wrestling Dantaku. They had 2 good events over the weekend. I appreciate everyone. Elite Easy E says, hey, yo, catching you in here. I'm just trying to get everybody who hasn't made mention. Matt Lopez mentions Maple Leaf Pro this wrestling. Also this Saturday looks miles away from the 4-match Backlash. Yes, Maple Leaf Pro is definitely happening this weekend. And you guys may be wondering, how can I check this out? Well, it is going to be up and over on Triller TV. Make sure that you guys check it out there. Maple Leaf Pro's been killing it. The Good Brothers are on the card. Josh Alexander, Gabe Kidd, Bishop Dyer, Zack Sabre Jr. You name the names, they're there, man. They're there.
Maple Leaf Wrestling or Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling has no cap some of the best wrestlers on the planet. They're not all of that caliber, but when you talk about Zack Sabre Jr., when you talk about the Walking Weapon, when you talk about Finley, these are some of the best wrestlers in the world. So make sure you check it out. This is not a run-of-the-mill show. This is a top-tier professional wrestling event with 2 guys, I'll be specific, the Walking Weapon and Zack Sabre Jr., who are, in my personal top 20 professional wrestlers on planet Earth.
Yeah, they're doing good things right now. And Gabe Kidd's also another one I think you need to watch out for if you're a New Japan fan. Mm-hmm. I think we'll see some big things from him. Thank you, Matt, for reminding us of those shows. Appreciate you. Jocelyn's in the house all the way live on a Monday, she says.
All the way live! Woo! Thank you, Jocelyn. Always appreciate all the single ladies, all the married ladies that put your hands up.
Right. The common denominator for release superstars is knee injuries. You don't want to hear what I've heard. I've heard it's a coach that's also not giving proper technique or something along those lines. We'll just say for these ACL tears that were happening.
Oh my God.
Yes, Hubs does have the Pontiac behind him.
You know what? If I could literally go back in time, Sir Quilly, I don't know if I've ever told you this, Conrad, Quills, everybody listening. If I had a time machine, but I can only go to one professional wrestling event live that is in the past, I would go to sit front row at the Pontiac Silverdome for that pay-per-view. We all know what the main event was. We all know what that man ended up becoming years later. That is not the point. We're talking strictly pro wrestling. A match that I consider to be the greatest professional wrestling match still of all time, Macho Man and Steamboat. A match that I consider to be the greatest spectacle in professional wrestling, keyword spectacle, Hogan versus Andre. That being in the building to me would have been the ultimate. That's how I feel.
If I could pick a show, I'd definitely pick One Night Stand. I feel like I should have. I don't know why. I always feel like, man, I should have been there for that. That would have been so cool, just to be like there for ECW like one more time. Like you never thought you'd get it again, and there it is.
Fair enough. I'm not. That's an interesting choice, but an understandable one as well.
Yeah. Connor says, "What up, guys? Going to lurk and listen while cooking burgers.
Nothing wrong with that.
Throw some cheese on them."
Hey.
J-Rock was
selling that. All them haters wanted Jet. Type go said just bought a Cadillac. Took him to the chop shop. Oh, that was my song, man.
Yeah, me too. J-Rock, appreciate you, man. Always good to see you in here. And I love the avatar as well.
If you smell what J-Rock is cooking. See what I did there?
That's right. Rapper, what's good, man? Appreciate you being in here. I'm just trying to see T Ferg's in the house. What's good, fellas? I hate to hear about all the recent. I hate to hear about all the releases. Good news is the industry is in a good place right now. Yes. BJ is in the house. Sorry for running late. BJ, never be sorry. We're happy you're here, brother. That's the best part, man. Good to see you. Got you in the earbuds.
B-Jizzle.
Deanna's in the house. Appreciate you, Deanna.
Deanna, how you doing? Yeet.
We got our boy here. Why did I just do that? Sorry.
Maybe I'm no longer welcome here. What's going on?
No, I definitely tried to do like a command, and I definitely
shifted
something does something.
If you want to go solo tonight, let me know, bro. Just don't do it on the fly. Like you could have let me know.
Cut it out. Will you stop? Renegade L2K. James representing the pro wrestling.
I see Conrad here. I said, pimp. I'm excited. This is WrestleMania 8. Rest in peace to Gorilla and Bobby the Brain.
I miss them. Rob says, yo, what's good, Rob? Appreciate you.
What up, Rob?
Yeah. Wellamon Productions Hubs. We all know your favorite wrestler is Rhea Ripley.
Well, man, I appreciate you, man. Look, Rhea's dope. She's not my favorite wrestler, but she's dope. No question about that.
All good, man. All good. Connor, I hope you got some French fries with those burgers, man. I see you out here making these moves. All right, let's get into it, man. Don't forget, make sure you check out Resurgence. That's happening Friday, May 9th. If you guys are interested, make sure that you guys get your watch on. That'll be available on multiple outlets if you guys are interested in watching. They are teasing a return of partners for the Young Bucks. I wonder who it could be. Also, don't forget, right before on Saturday, happening just to happen, we're going to have a Saturday night's main event the night before Double or Nothing. So make sure that you guys are there for that.
Old Saturday night's main event theme song right there, guys. Petty, WWE being petty once again.
There's a show. There's another show for you. Hopefully you guys get to enjoy it.
I think that's where Jey Uso was going to have his first title defense if I'm a betting man.
They probably should. They probably should. Let's start off with the topic that is on the front cover, Sean. Let's talk Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Paul Heyman. A dangerous alliance. That was all Sean and me, by the way.
Well, look, Conrad's the executive producer of the show. He does so much work behind the scenes to make us look good. But I will admit, I will have a small selfish moment in the midst of also giving due respect to Conrad. This subject was my idea because I really love factions, and I feel like this has so much potential to it, but it also is a tale of caution of how it could definitely go left. I think, as a matter of fact, that literally the next move they make could make or break this faction. And Conrad, something I did not tell to you during our talking throughout the week or pre-production today, I literally think that this could evolve, no pun intended, into one of the greatest factions literally of all time. Like, literally, I'm talking about, I think this has the potential to be one of the greatest factions of all time, depending on what they do next.
Who's in your greatest factions right now? What up, Miracle? Who's in your greatest factions?
The NWO, D-Generation X. I don't really give Evolution the nod, even though they were great, but I'm always going to, to me, it's DX, NWO, and the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, those are definitely.
And you know what? I think this group gets forgotten about way too much. The Heenan family.
Fortune! Oh.
No, not
yeah, the Heenan family was
I have to go with the Heenan family. But I gave you four, Conrad. The NWO, DX, the Horsemen, and the Heenan family.
I like that.
What about yours? I'll give you four. Give me four if you could think of four.
I'm trying to think of four different ones. I do like Clown just brought up Raven's Nest. I thought that was a fantastic group, kind of like the Flock in WCW. I like the Hart Foundation. I'm just going with like underrated ones that maybe forgotten about. The Shield is another one of my favorites. I think the Shield was one of the best book groups in WWE in years. It took them a long time to find someone who I thought could be on that level.
Right.
And Los Barricos. I mean, no, I got nothing else.
I mean, if you like Los Barricos, more power to you.
I actually was just listening to the theme the other day. I was like, what was their theme song? And then I put it on. I was like, what is this?
Wow.
Girl Sadia.
The lead up to one of the biggest WrestleMania matches of all time, it didn't play out that way, but in the lead up to one of what we thought was going to be one of the greatest matches of all time, it was Savio Vega at No Way Out teaming up with DX to go up against Stone Cold and all those people, like in that 8-man tag, and that's because Shawn Michaels' back was on.
Who was it? Stone Cold, LOD, and
I don't know. You're better than me with the
Owen.
LOD. Maybe Shamrock. No, probably Owen. It was Owen.
Okay, yeah. It's been a long time.
But Shawn Michaels was hurt. So imagine.
Ask what happened in 2017. Ask me what happened in 2017. Can't remember, but I remember that stuff.
There you go. It's funny though. You think about it, man. Like that show, whoever was in the building for that show bought tickets for that show. Obviously, it was a lead into WrestleMania 14, but it was supposed to be Shawn Michaels in that match, and you get Savio Vega.
Where's James? James is in here trolling, but I know he's about to hit. Yeah.
Leezy and Miracle with the information. It was Stone Cold. It wasn't LOD. That's interesting. It was Stone Cold, Owen, Cactus Jack, and Chainsaw Charlie. And the scheduled opponents were Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and you got to help me out with that too. I don't remember that either.
The New Age Outlaws, because they were going to join DX before, but it wasn't ready until we got the. You gotta look to your blood. You gotta look to the click.
Okay, but anyway, there was ever one last minute replacement that stood up to the test of time. That's Savio filling in for HBK.
Yeah, that was something.
Or what I should say, Quang filling in for HBK.
Now we don't know if that was him. He had a mask on. See, I can play those games.
We don't know if that was him. But when I salute and give respect to the lineage of, I can't even get it out. El Grande Americano, you give me a hard time.
I'll say this: Savio threw some great kicks. I'll give him that. But let's go back to this group, man. By the way, M. Leezy in the chat, Matt Lopez said that rope, $13K. Just so people know.
Hey,
And
listen, he's getting money now. Listen, you make money, you spend money.
What are you feeling about this group though? Like, what do they need? Like, what's the making thing for you? Like, because there's been a big talk of should they add people or not. I've heard the plan is they're not adding people. Is that a deal breaker for you, or
that's a massive mistake? That's a massive mistake because literally there's one man that pops into my head, and there's probably others, but there's one man that immediately pops into my head that if he joins this group, he will be a future world champion. And that man's name is Sami Zayn.
Well, after last week, it ain't looking too good.
I know that's the point. And I think they made a huge mistake. So there is a way to fix it, though. And there's another person's name that pops into my head that I think would serve its great purpose. And I'm not talking about Austin Theory. Absolutely not. I'm talking about Karrion Kross.
You could do that as well. I think with Sami, there is the possibility for a story the other way.
If he sees the light.
Yeah, but think of where the Royal Rumble is next year, folks, and think long term.
Oh, boy.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
Jay Uso may be on an extended world title reign is what I'll tell people.
Oh, you think so? Jay Uso's going to – no, he's not going to keep it that long.
No, I'm saying at least till SummerSlam, though. Like,
okay.
You let him rock for a while.
I mean, we're talking about I've coined the phrase, the proprietor of the Jey Uso bandwagon, Sean Hubbard. I don't think he's keeping it till next January.
Yeah, make that incorporated for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. If he keeps it till January, I wouldn't mind Jay dropping it to Sami in Saudi Arabia. That'd be fine with me.
Guy Will Gamble said my man's is wearing grandma's rug.
Hey.
Oh, you guys are funny. Bronze Breaker, y'all leave Bron Breaker's spray on tan alone.
But no, seriously though, like I think there's I think they need to make sure that Sami swings around to see the light, quote unquote, and join Seth Rollins, because to answer your question, Conrad, your astute question is they need to add more people. This is an opportunity. This is a big opportunity to find somebody who is in the middle of the pack that has absolutely Bullet Club and Nation of Domination for sure. There are people that are really on the cusp of superstardom that need a push, and they are good enough, and WWE has not made the right decision. Obviously, there's feel-good people like R-Truth. That wouldn't work. There's feel-good people like Tozawa and Otis. That wouldn't work. But there are people that are genuinely on the borderline. And if there was ever a wrestler, and I mean this in a complimentary way, Conrad, if there was ever a wrestler that literally was the definition of borderline, it's Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has been on the doorstep for years now.
I've heard people mention Bronson Reed joining them too.
I don't know. No. See, that's when people start overthinking stuff. Bronson Reed, Austin Theory. You start overthinking it, you mess it up. Like Sami Zayn, not to cut you up, bro. Sami Zayn and the other person that popped into my head, Drew McIntyre, they fit the story, Conrad. They fit the story
of the Bloodline, which is another faction we probably should have mentioned too. But
oh my god, I don't know. I even forgot them. My apologies. Yes, indeed. But like Drew, I didn't say Drew before. I know I just snuck that yeet in there. Drew and Sami are involved. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we venturing off? Not you, Conrad. Why are we venturing off into Austin Theory, into Bronson Reed? Why are we venturing off? You know what? Even my thought about Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross has an axe to grind. That's what this faction is about. No, or am I wrong?
I'm still waiting for the full picture of it. So
you don't think they have an axe to grind?
No.
It's about.
If you go that route, because Heyman was obviously sick of Punk, he was sick of Roman. Why? Their egos and everything else, and who's really going to protect him and all that. You can get into that. He's got the future of Bron Breakker behind him. Yeah, it makes sense. I think people are just trying to throw a bone to Austin Theory. I think they feel like he kind of got
sailed, bro. That ship is sailed.
I think Drew, the ship has sailed to. Well, Drew won't make sense unless you make it make sense. You're gonna have to come up with a reason to get him back to Raw.
Yo, you know that I'm not a big Drew McIntyre fan, but it makes perfect sense, brother.
No, I'm talking about. So you're thinking of he fits with the group. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm talking about how do you get him from SmackDown? This is why I get mad about the draft, because I'm like, okay, how are we gonna move this guy over to here? How do you do it? You either need a trade, and when that draft happens, I better hear booing. You better boo. If I hear, yay, I'm so excited for this. Boo this draft. Yeah. Boo Triple H, because they've sucked at doing this.
Yeah.
But I digress. Yeah. Drew would fit in the group very well. I mean, how do you get there? I don't know. And Paul Heyman, we mentioned this before. The aesthetic of the group to me is important. You know what I'm about to get into, Sean.
Yes, I do. I know.
Was this supposed to be funny? I know I'm not cool. I'm getting older as we speak. I'm balding. I get it, guys. Like, I understand. What is this? What is this?
It's weird. You know I like Seth, but even I was like, yo, that's weird.
But were you like, Conrad's gonna torch this? Was that
but you know what? The only difference is I said Conrad's gonna torch this, and then I said, and rightfully so.
Dude, you can't go out doing stuff like this. When I see this faction right now, this is what I see. This is what I see. You got Paul Heyman, sorry, as the Penguin. We have Seth Rollins as the Joker, and Bron Breakker as Bane. You could definitely have a whole crew of these people ready to take down, the Batmans of the WWE. You just have to make sure the right pieces are in place. I don't know if Paul Heyman wants to be out there every single week either.
Oh, by the way, another quick notion about this is just a small tidbit of another reason why I think they should add another person. They need to be a part of a Survivor Series team. They should. So to make myself very clear, they need to add 2 people.
Are you saying make that pay-per-view feel important? Because that's why people feel it doesn't feel important?
Well, that would be nice, but that's a good idea, but you know what that means.
I saw some people advocating for a tag team. I mean, maybe. Like I said, I don't think when people are adding all these people, Paul Heyman's got to go out there with them. Or they have to stay together.
What I'm saying is, well, definitely, you're 100% right. What I'm saying is that this faction should be a team that collects gold belts. I want to see, like I said, what I tell you about Jey Uso, bro? As soon as Jey Uso won the World Heavyweight Championship, what did I say? Matter of fact, what have I been saying?
You were happy. Resumes matter.
Resumes matter, and people outside agree with me. What I said was, I don't care if he loses it tomorrow. He won it. It's on his resume. Resumes matter. Done deal. So with that being said, Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion, Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Champion, and you can have Drew McIntyre and Bron Breakker as the World Tag Team Champions. Hello, McFly, why is it that I can come up with this stuff and WWE, or unless you think I'm wrong, Conrad?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think that maybe the writer's room is thinking of this stuff. I don't know anymore what's happening in that room. By the way, there were some moves made with that. I know we're going to talk about releases. Don't forget about the Office people that got released as well.
There you
people
go.
Like VP of Creative and stuff like that. But I don't know what they're thinking currently, Sean. Like, you can tell by how we look lately. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know exactly.
I know we're not going to blame The Rock for everything on this podcast. You're not going to do that in my face. No, you're not. You had weeks to know of this stuff. Drew's going to be Croc. I love my comic book fans out there. At New Day, I don't. Maybe
that's actually not a bad idea. I don't think they would do it because WWE are idiots. But that's not a bad idea.
It would make sense, but it might not make sense until later.
Okay.
Who's New Day's top rivals?
Got you. I hear what you're saying.
You'll have to go back to that well again, but yeah. I mean, we're doing Cena and Orton.
It's not like we can't go back in time if we wanted to.
So what's that? Motor City Machine Guns, the Rat-a-tat-tat boys from SmackDown? I think they're coasted right now in that TLC match. They might be all right. I'm hoping they can build some momentum from that. Mm-hmm. Seth beats Jay. Sammy wins Rumble. Sammy beats Seth at Mania in New Orleans. Sounds easy.
I'm okay with that, McKinney, but oh my Gosh, that's a stretch to me, McKinney. I respect it, but that Sammy winning the Royal Rumble, only reason we're saying that is because it's what? Because it's Saudi Arabia?
That, and I think, listen, you've only got but so many times that you can keep beating Sammy. Like, we talk about other people getting their moments. This dude was super over at one point. You had your chance to do it, and you told him no. Why? What's the difference?
Well, look, all I'm saying is that we can't automatically have Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble because it's in Saudi Arabia. I'm not mad at the idea. I'm not. But I think it would make more sense if he – you know what? I cut myself off because I thought of something good. Have Sammy join the group and then win the Royal Rumble. That would make more sense.
He could always do the old fake out. Clown just said have Reed and Jeff Cobb join, like as a tag team. You could. The problem, I could break down Bronson Reed and make it make sense, but I could also tell you why it doesn't make sense as well.
Didn't Seth Rollins break Bronson Reed's ankle? I mean, storyline wise?
No. Bronson Reed broke his own, trying to help the bloodline, which he could. Storyline. He broke his ankle. No, Seth wasn't in the match. My bad. Yeah. How dare you?
Seth said no. Seth declined the offer. Okay.
So he was out there helping the bloodline. He could say, Heyman talked me into it, and then he spoke to me again. I mean, you're reaching. But at the same time, I could say, well, Bronson Reed beat up Seth, so why would he be following them?
My thing is this, Conrad. Now, I want you to take it from here. To me, everything doesn't require, and this is what WWE does, everything doesn't require brain surgery.
Yeah.
To me, Sami Zayn has an axe to grind. Sami Zayn, storyline-wise, Sami Zayn should turn on Jey Uso. 100%. 100%. Jay's the one who gave Sami the hardest time to even join the bloodline.
I think they won.
He should turn. Let me tell you something, Conrad. I'm going to say it again from the figurative mountaintops. Now that Jey Uso is world champion, I am good. He can lose the title tomorrow. I don't care, bro. Have Sami turn on Jey Uso.
I think that's what they want you guys to think, but okay. I also think that Sami is going to help Jay win a match where people don't think Jay has a chance. It's going to be one of those matches where you're like, oh, Jay might lose here.
Okay.
I think Sami is going to be his, I've got your back, bro. It's going to work if it's you and me. It'll work. You can beat him.
Until Sami gets tired of doing it?
No, I think until this group is too much for them to handle.
Wait, so are you telling me that you think Sami Zayn will never turn on Jay?
No, not in this instance, no.
Really?
No.
I'm surprised to hear you say, okay, all right.
Not right now, at least.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair, because to me it was almost like he was going to turn on him 2 weeks ago.
Right. Well, you had me convinced last week.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
A fed herring. I like that. BJ mentioned before about Seth and the New Day always having these callbacks with their gear and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it, Beach. I respect it. We'll keep it moving right now with this. More on Raw tonight as things develop. Me and Sean will be talking about them. Shout out to Sean for that topic. That was a lovely, lovely topic. And it gave me inspiration for graphics. WWE releases. Things that we hate talking about, but things that we must. We mentioned people in the higher ups. I don't want anybody in here. Please do not fantasy book people losing their jobs. I don't want to hear things like wrestler A is going to be next, or don't do that. All right. Have a heart, have a soul. People lose their jobs. That's not fun. It's not funny. It's not fun. I'm not here to make jokes. If you want to speculate where you think they'll go, cool. That's fine. We'll get into it. I'm sure we're going to break down each and every one of these, and then we'll get into it. Here are the people, Sean. I don't know how you want to do this. You want to just go down the list, or
let's go down the list and let's talk about for each person level of shock on a scale of 1 to 10. Shocking, most shocking being 10. So I'll throw it to you, and then I'll just piggyback off of whatever you say. Shayna Baszler,
7 for me.
I'll go 5. It was the middle of the road. Dakota Kai,
8.
I'm going 10. I'm dumbfounded that she got let go. Braun Strowman,
6.
I'll go 2. I thought that him being let go actually was fairly predictable after the way they had Jacob Fatu run through him like a hot knife through butter. Cade. I'm gonna combine these two: Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
Can I answer it differently than 1 through 10 for
Sure.
both of them? Disappointing.
Sure. Okay.
Disappointing. It showed me that they do not care about the women's division.
Fair enough. I will say for Caden Carter, I will say a little bit more like a 5. And the reason it's 5 instead of like a 1 is because I know, well, allegedly she's in a relationship with Damian Priest. And I kind of felt like WWE does have some affection as it relates to couples. I thought that they like to keep people together. I guess I was wrong. Katana Chance is like a 1. They haven't been utilizing that team at all. Gigi Dolan, excuse me.
She was 7. She was pretty high up.
I'm going to say 7 as well. I think the work that she did with Toxic Attraction was really good. JC Jane still has a job. Gigi Dolan does not. That's interesting. Eddie Thorpe, I'll
put in like a 6.5.
I'm going to go a little lower. I thought he was underutilized. I think his last-ditch effort was that interaction with Shawn Michaels. So I'm going to go 4. Javier Bernal.
3.
Yeah, 1. Oro Mensah.
5. I think that the weird breakup of Metaphor on NXT this week was like, what are you guys doing? There's no reason to break this group up.
I'm going to go 7 because I didn't think that something like this would happen so quickly after the breakup. Like, they broke up and now they're fired. That's weird. And also, if I'm not mistaken, the young lady who's part of Metaphor as well, Jakari Jackson is also who's not on this list. That's a 7 for me, or an 8 because she's ultra talented. Okay, but it is what it is. Wolfgang.
We might as well lump Gallus together as well.
Right.
These 3. I that's another one. Disappointing. Jakara Jackson and all of them disappointing.
Yeah. Cora Jade on a scale of 1 to 10, me being surprised she got let go, is an 11.
8.5 for me.
Yeah, I'm going 11 because I was dumbfounded when I heard that. I did not see that coming. Riley Osborne?
4.
I'll go 4 as well. Shotzi, I'll go like 2 because I felt like she was flailing. I thought they weren't doing anything with her.
I'll say 5. I don't know what happened with Shotzi.
Yeah. And Palmer, what would you say about what
Danny Palmer had many of injuries. I was getting worried. I think she announced her retirement on her Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. One of her social media, she announced that she was retiring. So right. 3.
Well, there you go. So look, the bottom line is this list comes a little bit. There's some shocking names on this list. Like you said, Conrad, you articulated this perfectly. We do not celebrate anyone losing their job unless it's like a sex scandal or some kind of like somebody did something really bad to someone. Then we celebrate because people should reap what they sow. But if you just lose your job, that's a tragedy. That's food off your table. So we wish all of these young, talented people the best. There are some shockers on this list, though, Conrad.
Yeah, Shayna, I brought it back up real quick. I just want to say Shayna Baszler, from that amazing start that she had to that dominating run in NXT, what a tale of 2 different bookings.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then Dakota Kai, she was just in the Intercontinental Tournament Finals for the championship. And I know the title hasn't been booked too well after that, but what?
Yeah, it's weird.
People were advocating for her to win it. Braun Strowman did his best, but you can see like Braun slowing down a little bit now. To me, they missed remember, what we say all the time? Strike while the iron is hot. What we talk about with Jey Uso, they missed it with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman 2017 should have did something with him.
With the money in the bank.
Yeah. The tag titles weep this week because you got rid of the only real tag team you had in the division. Katana Chance, Kate, and Carter have stayed together, had tag team moves, matching gear, came up with stuff. I don't get it. Gigi Dolan could have been another great person in the tag division. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Shayna Baszler was part of the tag division. We just got rid of like 12 people from that division. What are you going to do with these belts? I don't get it.
It's weird. It's weird. I've always been a big proponent of matching up. I'm going to go to the men's division just to swing it back around to the women's division. I always have been a big proponent of having 2 singles guys become a tag team and become tag team champions. I love that. Obviously, there's so much respect and love I have for teams like, I'm not going to go old school. Like, obviously, the love and respect I have for old school tag teams is infinite, but I'm just going to stay current landscape. The Usos, the New Day, Carter and Chance. I mean, I'll add them to it, even though they're not on the same level. I love traditional tag teams. However, I also love The Rock and Jericho. I also love The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I also love Shawn Michaels and John Cena. So to me,
Kane and X-Pac.
No, you're laughing. That was actually pretty good. That was fun.
No, they were good. They were one of my friend's favorite tag teams.
That was fun.
But personally, I think that a tag team should always beat the two singles guys because you're a tag specialist a little bit. I think they should do it more than they do it, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I hear you. I respect that. But to bring my point home, to me, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, that's the reason why Bayley and Sasha Banks were so cool. That's the reason why Sasha Banks and Naomi were so cool. That's the reason why Bianca and Jade Cargill should have been the longest reigning women's tag team champions in history. And you still could have had Bianca Belair in singles matches, and you still could have had Jade Cargill in singles matches while they continue to have the tag team championship. You need star power for these titles. And it has not been that way in a while. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see these championships surviving much longer.
I'm kind of worried. So one of the places we need a third brand that's not affiliated with WWE or AEW.
Okay.
Like we need a place for people to go, because does TNA pick these people up, Sean? Like what do you do if you're TNA? Because can we keep it a stack right now? TNA fans, don't get mad at me. I'm about to keep it a stack. We know they're holding WWE's water, bro. Like, I know you hold their water. You do what they say. We're going to have a story on that in a moment, too. You do exactly what they do. You're copying them. You tout attendance now. Like, you never did that stuff before. So, okay, that's what you're doing now. That's fine. I'm not mad at you for it. But are you going to pick these people up? Or you got to use them for free before?
Mm-hmm.
You were using Cora Jade for free. Now, are you going to offer her a contract or what? And then we just found out they have a bunch of other people signed that they haven't used yet. That they're just sitting there. I don't know if they're waiting for whatever to clear or whatnot. But
I'm gonna give BJ some credit with what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say is not a completely original thought, because I am taking it from what he just said, which is 4 years and it'll be WWE TNA. I have a slight alteration, BJ. In 4 years or less, it'll be NXTNA.
That's a Derek special right there.
Oh, that's Derek. Okay, I gotta give Derek.
No, Derek always says that. TNX.
Oh, okay.
He always says that. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think NXTNA is coming soon. That's what I think.
Yes, and listen. I know we mentioned the WWE releases. I think AEW missed out on EJ a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that he got released first. This kind of buried the AEW news. Like, that might have been like, oh, good. See ya. Thanks, guys. Like, it took the heat off us for a day. Because at first they were getting cooked before that a little bit, I saw for it. And Rob says, speaking of releases, the Righteous, Vincent, and Dutch are no longer part of AEW and ROH. I just saw that before we started the show. So if you're a fan of them, it looks like they may not be with Ring of Honor anymore.
Shout out to BJ again. BJ just took it to a whole new level.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
I see it. That's
like
actually our next topic.
Okay.
Joel dropped a $2 super chat. I don't want to ignore him. He said, Maple Leaf North Rising. Are you guys going to check it out? Absolutely, I am. I love MLP. Maple Leaf Pro is fantastic. Like I said, you get to see wrestlers from New Japan, AEW, all around the world, basically. Let it rock, man. Hopefully, I wish they could get like Natalia on one of these shows or something. That'd be really dope. But, I see people talking about the women's tag titles. BJ, I'll pull this up for you guys since you guys are all saying it. I agree it's going to be NXT, NNA, but yeah, that's our next topic actually here. And this is a rumor, so don't say that we told you it was the truth. Rumor. People are saying wrestlers signed from AAA that already have signed contracts with WWE. Oh, I can't even say my usual name for him because I promised Sean that I'll be good on this show.
There you go. Good job.
ADR. Whatever, dude. Just are we serious?
Hold it together, brother.
Are we serious? Dr. Wagner, good pickup. Vikingo. I have receipts for some people who were talking that Vikingo mess. It's funny that you like him now. You like him? Whatever. You didn't like when he was fighting Kenny Omega, but I'm Vikingo is fantastic. I hope you enjoy. La Parka, can we please pay for Thriller? I know they won't, but we need a Thriller ripoff.
Yeah, they won't. They won't. Yeah.
And I'm sure AAA wasn't paying for it either. Not gonna lie. La Hydra, I mean, they got people in there, and there's some issues coming from some of these names too. I don't know if you don't know the Stephanie Vickers situation. I'll let you look it up on your own. But there's some order protections and stuff in here that are going to play a part. So be smart. Look up your research, and let's go Knicks.
There you go.
Not to make light of Stephanie Vickers' situation, but yeah, they definitely need to pay attention here with Conan being involved, some of the talent from AAA being involved. There are some wrestlers that don't mix well. Stephanie Vickers is not from AAA. I know you saw her out there. You're like, oh, yeah. No. She's not. She came from CMLL. She probably didn't want to be around the people in AAA because they weren't fans. So do your own research on it. Please be careful. And yeah, if this is true, yeah, that's your laugh of the week for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm sick of them. Like, this is ridiculous, the stuff that they pull, and they don't catch enough heck for it. Let me see here. I see a bunch of people talking. I'm fairly certain it's been confirmed in the last 4 hours that ADR is under WWE contract. He did get his picture moved over to the alumni page too again. Yeah, but whatever, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat writing, let's go Knicks. Yes. Indiana, I agree.
I agree with you, Deanna. Look, I got to say this, man. I know it's a wrestling show, but, you know, it's my show. It's Conrad's show. So sometimes I go off on a tangent. I will not go off on a tangent this time. My heart says Knicks in 7, but my brain says Boston in 6. And that breaks my heart to say that. Anything is possible. I would be ecstatic if the Knicks can pull off the upset, but it would be a colossal upset.
If you guys don't win, I told you who the next piece should be.
Oh, baby.
It may happen.
Oh, baby. The Greek Freak in New York City.
I think it's time.
Let's do it.
If they could pull that off, then I think we got. Then next year I might be talking a little different. Like, I know who's winning the Eastern Conference.
There you go.
But
there you go. Yes, sir.
Let's get into this Backlash. All right.
This week's Backlash.
Saturday, May 10th, pay-per-view starting at 7 Eastern Standard Time. You guys can order it on Peacock. If you're international, check it out on Netflix. Presented by Morgan & Morgan. If anyone wants to pay us, feel free. Backlash is in St. Louis. Pat McAfee, Gunther. This is a announcer going up against Gunther.
Look, Pat McAfee's an entertaining guy. Like tonight, I'm very interested in the face-to-face they're going to have. I don't know if you heard, Adam Pearce has announced that there's going to be a face-to-face discussion between Gunther and Pat McAfee. I don't mind Pat McAfee. Like, some people have a problem with him. Do you have a problem with him?
Grading a little bit. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, to me, it's just an entertaining, to me, this is like Logan Paul, but more fun. Like, Pat McAfee doesn't make me want to throw up. You know what I'm saying? Like Logan Paul makes me, like, throw up in my mouth. Like, Pat McAfee, I'm like, all right. Like, I enjoyed him versus Adam Cole in NXT. That was good. That was fun.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, we all know Pat McAfee's going to lose. But he's going to put up a good fight. He's going to be very entertaining.
Is he going to lose?
Oh, no. There's no way he's winning the match.
You see what James put up. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way he's winning the match. I hear you, James. There's no way that you can have Gunther lose to Pat McAfee. That would be disrespectful. I think Pat McAfee would admit that would be disrespectful.
I think that's how you get to where it's at, unless that you have Gunther beat him up after and then you do it. But
yeah, have him beat him up after. Like, have Gunther win the match and then have Gunther attack him after the match. And then, first of all, why is Goldberg? Let me cut myself off right now. Why is Goldberg even in the mix?
I don't know.
Like, I found like we're having a conversation. Well, it was only like a 30-second blip where we were just saying, how can Pat McAfee, essentially what we're going to say is, how is Goldberg going to be able to be implemented in a respectful way? Goldberg shouldn't be involved at all. Is this really going to happen? Is this on the docket?
What up, Jesse?
What up, Jesse? My guy Derek, I see you. Is this really a thing?
What up, D? I don't know.
Oh my God. Are you seriously telling me there's a chance we can see another match from Goldberg?
Yes, I think it's going to happen.
Oh, God.
Miracle said Pat is annoying at times. I don't have an issue with Pat, but I feel Corey Graves should be in the chair on Monday nights.
Maybe so. I'll give you that. Why is Goldberg? I can't even talk. Why is Goldberg even a factor right now? Has anybody? I need somebody to give me, or you, Conrad, to give me some kind of newspaper clipping that you've seen, some kind of press release.
He wants a retirement match, and he was promised it. Remember last year when they had that little interaction?
I do.
Everyone believes that he's going to get his match.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
I'm not. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just letting you know.
I know you're not advocating for it. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrible.
Wow. Delayed Grats, what up?
The delayed Grats, even the fact that that's on the table is disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it. I will gamble. If Goldberg is retiring, it's going to be at SummerSlam. Wow. It might be in whatever. I forgot what the next Saudi show is, but it might be over there too. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. You only got 5 matches, man. You got to be careful how you use these things. People want to be on these shows.
Here's my thing, Conrad, and we can move on. Whether it's Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, or whoever else is making decisions for WWE, somebody has to be willing to say no. No. Bill, you're 70 years old. You can't have a match. You can't. We'll find a way to bring you back in an advisory role or maybe do a run-in. But there's no reason why you should be in a match. And we all know that if Goldberg's in the match, he's going to win. So you're going to have Goldberg, who is, I was being facetious and funny when I said 70 years old, who is almost 60, defeat one of the most dominant world heavyweight champions of all time? Is that seriously on the table? Like, that is madness.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the table, bro. I'm
just letting you know. I looked it up because you're a student of the game.
58.
Yeah, 58 years old. I knew what you were doing, Conrad. 58 years old. And he's going to beat Gold. You might as well say he's going to beat Gunther. You might as well just say it.
I don't think so. I think he would go out on his back. I'm not saying.
I hope so.
But you know, you got to remember, what do the Attitude Era guys think? And Goldberg's from that time period, or the Monday Night Wars, we'll say, to be respectful to WCW.
Oh my God!
If I make Pat beat you, that could be the heat. That's the heat for us here, and it's like, we'll see.
You know, the fact that this is even on the table is what's wrong with professional wrestling in WWE today.
I thought there was a Night of Champions show, Matt. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that. Can we get Stone Cold Goldberg at SummerSlam? No, that's definitely not happening.
Why? T3Z? Why?
He's asking, but I wouldn't do it. You got to have someone who could carry the match for either one of them, and that ain't it.
And at this point, respectfully, maybe not even Stone Cold.
Yeah, Miracle said his match with Ziggler should have been his last match. I was there.
Yo, Miracle, you ain't lying, bro. His last match he should have never stepped back in the ring again after the Undertaker fiasco.
Honestly, if you wanted to put someone over, have Bron Breakker destroy him. Like how he used to destroy people, just put someone over like that. You're going to get destroyed for once.
Yeah, Jocelyn, I see you, Jocelyn. But you know what? Sting actually still could wrestle. Yo, this dude almost unlived. See what I did there, Conrad? Trying to keep us on the air. Almost unalived the Undertaker, bro. He almost unalived the Undertaker.
Yeah, it's risky business out there. I don't know what they're gonna do if this is his last match. I guess
if Lord have mercy. If
I gotta keep it together tonight. My eyes are watering too much. Woo!
Lord have mercy. This is reprehensible. This is a miscarriage of justice, is what it is. Goldberg in 2025? What?
Oh yeah.
If did I? Oh man, let's move on. I'm with you, Connor.
This one's gonna be quick, I think. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Becky's taking the title.
Yeah, I think Becky's the new champ. Yep.
There's no way. Some people have advocated, does Becky join that group with Heyman? I don't know if we're gonna see that. I don't think
it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it's kind of predictable, right? Like too predictable.
Yeah, I mean, to be their Medusa, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if they do that. If it fits, like I said, I gotta know what you're gonna do going forward for it to fit. But Becky beats Lyra, and then to me, you got to get Bayley back in the mix, and I think that's their we got you, Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Don't be sad. This was all the plan from WrestleMania. We were using that for heat.
We just plucked you from WrestleMania. So disrespectful.
Yeah. So they'll get.
And by the way, I said plucked.
That's
I just like to make sure we know pronunciation is key, guys.
madness. That's the part. I mean, WWE booking. Sting in his 60s is better than Gold. Wow, guy Will Campbell. Wow.
Hey, he's not completely wrong.
I know, but it's just harsh. It's harsh to read.
I may not say 60s he's better than Goldberg in his 20s, but I'll say Sting in his 40s and 50s is better than Goldberg in his 20s.
Okay, the real draw, Lyra versus Becky. This will be match of the night, Matt says.
Match of the night. It's hard to say match of the night. I like where you're going, Emily. It's hard to say match of the night when you got Randy Orton versus John Cena. And believe me, nobody's more skeptical of the Orton-Cena match than I am. But I do think it'll be fun at least, right?
I think the next match is going to be match of the night.
Okay.
On the SmackDown side of things, we have a four-way for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. I like that all of these guys are getting mic time. Personally, if you put that World Heavyweight Championship over on SmackDown, which I don't know if they're going to move it over there, but these would be all players in the mix, in my opinion. I think Jacob Fatu is just as ready as Bron Breakker is for a big spot, elevated move up. Drew feels above this a little bit, in my opinion. LA Knight is just kind of doing the rematch thing, and Priest is trying to figure out where he fits in with everything. I think we got to get all four of these characters on the right track and elevate them.
I think you need to elevate one.
Well, it's good. We know who that's going to be.
And I think he is a future world champion, baby. I think he's on his way to the top.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. There you go.
He's talking about Mr. All Gas. No,
that's
break.
right. That's right.
Jacob Fatu wins this. I mean,
absolutely, 100%.
I'm just looking here. Yo, you gotta stop, Jesse. Oh man, Jesse's not feeling this PLE at all.
It looks like buns. He's not wrong. This pay-per-view is looking weak, bro. Like super duper weak.
One last time, John Cena versus Randy Orton. Listen, we all got to admit this. This match needs a little extra oomph, in my opinion.
Or like I like to say, a little extra sauce.
Yeah, you got to sprinkle some spice on this. And for all the heck Jon Moxley caught for his matches being the way that they are, I feel like that's what we're going to see for the Cena reign until we get back to... It's got to be Cody or Punk is who this is going to. There's no other person, in my opinion, unless they have someone brand new that they want to elevate. We sit here with this. Cena wins, in my opinion. Shenanigans.
I mean, Cena, I'm actually going to go against the grain a little bit here, Conrad. I'm going to say that Randy Orton wins by disqualification.
That you can't go off like that.
Why not? WWE does anything it wants. It doesn't care.
I know, but
no, there's no buts, Conrad. You know, for all the things you've helped me with over the years and taught me over the years about premium podcasting and production value, let me educate you on World Wrestling Entertainment. I feel like this is deja vu. I've said this before. And for anybody in our chat, our wonderful viewers, this one's for you too. Just in case, Quilly knows what I want to say. I think Guy Will Gamble, M. Leezy, there's a few people. Jocelyn knows what I'm going to say. But just in case you've never heard this one before, here we go. WWE and its decision makers do not give a crap what you want. The only way you get what you want is if what they want is what you want. But if what they want is not what you want, they're not going to give you what you want. So in what world, Mr. Cushman, do you think that it's outside of the realm of possibility that this match would end in a disqualification?
I'm just saying, don't do it. Don't do it. By the way, I see a bunch of people talking about they're going to switch over to Collision. Collision has moved dates because they're experimenting because the NBA won't be there next year. And I bet you AEW is going to have the prime picking of whatever they want. And I think they're testing to see will Collisions work on Thursdays? What day should we get? So, yeah, WWE does not care about you, Quill said in all caps.
I'm just saying, bro, like all jokes aside, like I'm having fun with it, obviously, and I appreciate that that our amazing viewers and you, Conrad, are having fun with what I just said. It's true. The only way you get what you want is if they want what you want, and if that's not the case, they're not going to deviate, bro.
Gabe said, "Give me what I want."
They're not going to deviate. They're not. And I'm telling you. And as a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further, brother Conrad. They're probably going to have John Cena reenact the 2008 match with Randy Orton when Randy Orton slapped the referee.
That was so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let me pull this up. I hope people don't front like these were all bangers. Out of these matches, I will say I probably enjoyed like 3 of these. And that's
Conrad, help me out. Which one was the match I'm referring to?
I don't remember.
Was there like a No Mercy match or something?
There was a No Mercy match the No Mercy match got canceled. That was the one I ordered. Remember, Cena like tore his pec, and then he
cool. Chat, help us out. What was the match when Randy Orton slapped the referee to get intentionally disqualified? You know what it was? It was probably the match before WrestleMania 20. Isn't that when John Cena won the Royal Rumble and said he was going to go for the title? There you go, M. Leezy. No Way Out 2008. There you go.
Right here. Yep. I see it.
So again, like, mark my words, Conrad. Mark my words. John Cena's going to slap the referee, and he's going to win. He's going to lose the match by disqualification.
Or slapping the ref was hilarious, though. I mean,
it was no low-key. That was kind of funny.
Well, because it was a logical thing that people always say in wrestling, like, well, if you're about to lose, why don't you just hit the ref and then leave?
Let me tell you something. If I was a champion in pro wrestling, I would, as soon as the bell rang, I would punch the referee square in the nose. like, ding, ding, ding. I'm at WrestleMania main event, bro. Ding, ding, ding. I'd go straight to Mike Chioda or whoever it was and punch him straight in the mouth.
I am flabbergasted that you would pull something like this. Here comes Gorilla Monsoon. The Iron Man match has been ordered into sudden death.
Yo, Guy Will Gamble says, man, if I'm about to take the 3-second 10, the ref is going to get this work and I'm out of there. You daggone right, brother. You daggone right. Let's use our heads up here. No, but seriously, though. Yo, Conrad, look at me. Look at me. John Cena retains by DQ. Watch.
Moving on, that's Backlash for you. Hopefully they add another match for you tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sean, take that. We got little news clippings here. We're going to move through these quick.
Let's do it. Per WrestleVotes, Triple H currently dedicating 6 to 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, solely to booking and storyline writing, sometimes even pulling night shifts. For context, during his time running NXT's Black and Gold era, Triple H spent about an hour a day on similar duties, end quote. So essentially, what this news clip is telling us is that Triple H is dedicating extra time to story writing. I mean, I don't see that where that's a bad thing, but to me, it's kind of like, isn't that your job?
Yo, Guy Will Gamble.
Oh, Guy Will that's why Guy Will Gamble was my dog. Yeah, he took the work. Isn't that your job?
I think sometimes too, though, being in there for 6 to 8 hours, you might be overcomplicating things. I mean, I get spending time on it, but I don't know. Let other people book some shows, have different visions for them. I know that they have a hard time letting go of control because if something happens, but Naomi standing on top here. A lot of people are feeling Naomi. To me, this feels like Naomi's like last big chance at a run here. Might want to take a swing.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's looking like Jade versus Tiffy at Saturday night's main event.
Could be, or we're in for a tag match with Tiffany and Nia.
Well, I'm saying that.
Excuse me, I almost said Trinity. Naomi and Nia. I almost said a bad term there. Real names.
I'm saying that, my brother, because this Friday is a number one contender match.
Yeah.
So we'll I'm guessing. I mean, they're not going to fight each other the next day at Backlash. Oh maybe. God! Tomorrow night.
See, they're. I don't know. I would put another match on there that people would be excited for. Sean, there's some good news here from Wrestle Purist. They put up from Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. They said that there's been talk that SmackDown will go back to 2 hours on 6/6, but that's not a hard date yet. It was expected at the end of May they would move back. WWE sources says the date isn't etched in stone, but they will expect it to be finalized this week. Get SmackDown away from 3 hours yesterday.
There was a time where I would say that you're bugging out. More content is always good, but I'm starting to think you're right, Conrad. I think that they're having difficulty making it quality TV for 3 hours, and they probably should scale it back.
Yeah, definitely. SmackDown's been super buns.
I mean, if this was the year 2000, they could have 3 hour shows because they actually had talent back then.
Well, no, I don't know.
Take that back. They have talent now, but talented storyline writers, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. Nitro couldn't handle that either. The 3 hours.
We're not talking about WCW. We're talking about
no, but I think that was one of the things that hurt them, though. The show was too long.
It was not, bro. Well, let me tell you something, Conrad. I'm not going to get too deep into this. We can talk about this another day. Nitro going to 3 hours was not what ruined WCW. There's many things that ruined WCW, but if you want to talk strictly about the time duration of the shows, it wasn't Nitro going to 3 hours. It was Thunder. Thunder was completely unnecessary. That's what the problem was.
Well, Thunder, you don't make a show and then promise only X level talent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that was one of the issues. There's a bunch of things. We can argue and get into it another time. Yeah, when Raw announced 3 hours, I promise you could have heard the moan all the way from Buffalo. Like, why are we doing this? Why? If you're in Australia, WWE TakeOver Perth, it's happening. They're getting Crown Jewel Perth Saturday, October 11th. So Western Australia, it's going down. Friday, October 10th will be there, and Monday, October 13th as well. And lastly, some legitimate news from my good friend Brandon Thurston. Shout out to Buffalo. He has WWE shareholders are suing WWE. They allege that the process that resulted in TKO merger wasn't an honest search for the most favorable buyer. The lawsuit is now in the quote-unquote discovery phase, where parties turn over certain evidence. Vince seems to be resisting to some extent.
I'll make my comments somewhat reserved because we never want to be accusational. I looked that word up, by the way. When it comes to accusatory, when it comes to things that we're not sure about. Look, all I'm going to say is what my late, great, amazing grandmother used to say. Chickens always come home to roost.
I think he just put someone on that maybe was willing to keep him. I don't know. We'll see. Once the items come out, we'll see. But That would be my prediction on it. But also, here's the weird thing in business, Sean. Is it a worse deal because I took a little less money because of this factor or that factor? Like, you don't know what people are going to say and what's going to come up in the evidence, too. I'm not trying to stick up for people.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, you have to understand context, and we don't understand the context right now.
Well, I get business.
Well, the context hasn't been revealed as of yet.
I've told people for a long time, business talk, when you're talking corporations and stocks, WWE is a person. I'm giving you 101 level stuff.
Right.
They are a person. So when they say that they want what's best for WWE, you have to do, usually that means what's the money. If you're sitting there, Sean, and you're the CEO, and they said, Sean, we will get $1 million more if you put SmackDown Live, I think you should do it. Would you do it?
I need to hear that. I heard you. I need to hear it one more time.
We want SmackDown to go live 3 hours every week from now on because we can get an extra $1 million from USA Network. Would you do it?
I would. I'm not going to lie. It's good business. I would.
See, I think $1 million, I'd say no. But then this is what happened to Raw eventually.
Okay.
What if it's $4 million?
Well, things get more complicated. Yeah.
Eventually, you can't keep saying no. But for a while there, though, they said Vince kept getting them to say no. Like, no, don't do it. It'll water down our product. It'll do this. It'll do that. But eventually, it got so high that it was like, I can't say no to this.
Yeah, money talks, and you know what walks. It's an unfortunate thing sometimes. But
yeah. We'll try to keep up to date on these things. There's a lot of cases. And yes, I do know the Ring Boy scandal is going on. I do not want to talk about the disgusting details of that. You can look that up yourselves. Moving on, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff had a promo. I thought it was going to be for 166 weeks, but it wasn't. It was to announce Real American Freestyle Promotion Wrestling with the third man, Izzy Martinez. Izzy Martinez trained Holly Holm, for people who don't know that. He is a big-time trainer, and they're starting American Freestyle Wrestling. Tell me your excitement 1 through 10, Sean, right now for American Freestyle Wrestling. Moving on. We have Tama Tonga has unfortunately sustained an injury and will be absent from competition for an unspecified period of time, according to WrestleVotes.
That sucks. Tama Tonga's growing on me, man. It's a shame. Like, I mean, the new bloodline. Yeah, I feel you, Gobble Gamble. The new bloodline has sustained some multiple injuries, man. It's a shame, but get well soon, man.
Yeah, the chat went ham with negatives for how excited they are.
I mean, I'm not saying I had nothing to say. I mean, you know how that's ridiculous. I mean,
we'll watch the first episode, and if we don't like it at all, people will move on. And I don't even know if I'm going to watch the first episode. They need television deals. I think they want to sell it to TKO. Can I give you the business strategy?
Sure.
Listen, they want to sell it to TKO. TKO is collecting assets. And then are they going to sell WWE? It makes you wonder right now.
It does. It does make you wonder.
Why'd you buy bull riding and all this other stuff? So collect the assets and sell them. TNA, Sean, more news. TNA, breaking news. TNA has banned excessive blood and blading.
I like this decision because it affects in a positive way the health of the professional wrestlers. I'm okay with blood, but to an extent, I don't need to see a face full of blood to have the point being made. Blood should be an accent, not a mandatory part of the show. It should be an accessory, not the main outfit. So the key thing for me is banning excessive blood and blading. I am fine with that.
They said they're okay with it hard way, it sounds like, if someone accidentally gets a busted nose, busted lip.
Well, they should be okay with it because that happens. Like, again, to me, the key word is excessive. I'm so sorry. I'm watching the Nick game. I'm focused, y'all. I'm focused on both things. But seriously, I don't mind blood in professional wrestling matches. And of course, them not having a problem with it happening during the match itself where somebody catches an elbow or so. Of course, getting it the hard way is part of the game. But at the same time, if you're going to blade, I don't have a problem with blading either. But if you're going to blade, you don't have to blade to the point where you're gushing out blood, like to the point where you feel like somebody's going to pass out and die or unalive, excuse me. So for me, everything in moderation. Like, the key that I think about when I think about like the ultimate in blading is always going to be Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. We don't have to have that. We can have it where it's a subtle thing that makes the same impact.
And there's tricks to doing it too.
Of course there is.
Yeah. But listen, I'm all for the safety of the workers, but TNA doing this also, like, it feels like holding WWE water, and that goes into the next thing. Victoria Crawford, aka FKA Alicia Fox, and Robert Stone are there trying to take over Impact away from like Santino out of control, and Victoria Crawford is getting a title match already on the next pay-per-view. Huh? What?
I don't respect her because of what I saw recently.
I don't know what you're referring to, but
she was very chummy and collaborative, unnecessarily collaborative with She That Will Remain Nameless.
Well, like I said, something don't smell right here, if you get what I'm saying. And even with this, something don't smell right. They're trying to get a TV deal. Just paying attention to it. Other things happening. Wardlow filed to trademark his name on May 1st.
I'm glad he did that because everybody knows they're breaking the door down to get that name.
We'll see what happens with Wardlow and where he ends up. Don't forget, AEW's got Summer Blockbuster happening in Portland, Oregon, Wednesday, June 11th. I don't know what the schedule is going to be. There's rumors of possibly a 4-hour show. There's rumors of maybe it's just going to be 4 hours that night, and then they'll air it another day. We'll have to wait and see. Also,
what I do know is that right after that show at 10 p.m. on Everything Pro Wrestling, I know that my guy Derek and Conrad are going to have it locked down. So
I hope that we can start at 10:10. Sean, go ahead. You can take this one. I'll put some ECW music behind it.
There you go. As announced by AEW's Twitter feed, as announced by Philly Inquirer, AEW is coming to the 2300 Arena for the first time ever. From August 27th through September 11th, Philadelphia's historic venue will host a residency of AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision, as well as Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. Go to All Elite's website for more information.
Smart to bundle it up. You get fees from this, and then you'll get fees from the pay-per-view.
Yes, sir.
I'm not mad at it. Go ahead, do your thing, man. And we are here, man. I want Swerve versus Hangman levels, LOL. How is Alicia Fox? Yeah. Austin versus Bret Hard way from now on, or Bret versus Piper. Jesse said, give me Bloodbath. Yeah, some people like it.
Some people like it, right?
Yeah. People are bringing up Tully. Yeah. How much blood in the match? Mox, yes. You guys are wild. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those 2300 shows. That should be fun. And let's end this show. Well, one more thing. Big shout out to the legend. The final boss has retired, Meiko Satomura. So make sure that you guys show some love, man. All good, man. I was happy to see this. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
A true pioneeress. Look it up. True pioneeress in the world of professional wrestling. I have infinite respect for her and her body of work.
Go check. You find a young Meiko on Nitro.
There you go.
You guys go back in time and take a look at that. We are here. We got through these episodes, and now we're in the second half of the season here. We're starting with Eddie Gilbert. Next week will be Billy Jack Haynes for us. Eddie Gilbert, Sean. I know you wrote an article about him long ago. What did you think of the Dark Side of the Ring special on Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert?
I think he was depicted moderately well. I mean, I think they should have probably went a little bit deeper into his kindness and philanthropy, charitable work and things of that nature. They touched briefly on that. Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, it was a victim of a broken heart. He really wanted to be a booker. He was really good at being a booker. And as it relates to the big three in American professional wrestling at the time, AWA, NWA, and or WWE, he was never fully, keyword here, fully given that opportunity. It's really unfortunate how these things go, but of course that's where it went. Now, as it relates to his physical prowess, he was a very good in-ring worker. Historically good, as a matter of fact. Everybody loved working with him. He was very, very safe in the ring. Unfortunately, he got injured to the point where he got allegedly addicted to painkillers, and that in so many cases can be the detriment and ultimately can turn the lights out on certain people's lives and careers, which, we speculate is the reason why he ended up passing away at the young age of 32 years old. But for me, Hot Stuff Eddie Gill will always be remembered for key moments. Thank you for bringing that up, Conrad. He was very influential and important to the AEW. Everything Pro Wrestling now. The Extreme Championship Wrestling rise. He was basically Paul Heyman's right-hand man before they ended up having an unfortunate falling out. Also the King of Philadelphia was a derivative of the King of Memphis with the feuds that he had with Jerry the King Lawler. And for me, the biggest thing is his contributions for big time moments. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He was hand selected to be the tag team partner of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to usher him back into the NWA after Ricky Steamboat's WWE stint, which eventually led to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat becoming the WCW NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So rest in peace, continued peace, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. He is truly a pioneer and someone who was whose life was cut short far too soon.
Yeah, the Eddie Gilbert stuff was very interesting. If you know his UWF time as well, that might be where some people could argue that was his booking prime. Being in the UWF, working with Bill Watts and his relationship with Sting, Rick Steiner, bringing them in and possibly helping them really get to the NWA, making it then to WCW. He was on the booking committee. We even heard about his beef with Cornette because Cornette technically got his spot on the booking committee.
Right. And honestly, to piggyback, Cornette to this day will say that was not the case. He teared up, and I think they were genuine tears when he started talking about how Eddie Gilbert would be his age if he were still alive. It's a tough thing. This business is really ugly. You just never, you like to believe you do the right thing. For me, I always equate things to myself because that's the best way to do things is to look in the mirror. I know myself, and I like to think that I know Conrad Cushman, right? If Conrad was approached for a big deal, I believe that he would at least bring my name up. If I was approached for a big deal, I would bring his name up. Do I believe that they went behind Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert's back and gave Jimmy Cornette Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert's spot in the booking room? I don't know. I wasn't there. Jim Cornette says that was not the case. Unfortunately, Eddie Gilbert's no longer with us to continue telling that story. So it's an unfortunate story that will never have an ending because the key players to that story are no longer with us. But it was very sad to hear.
Listen, brother was always ahead of his time, too. They had mentioned he was like one of the first people to do a shoot interview. He did it in like 1994 in a hotel room.
Yes, sir.
Like he went in there and told his side of the stories. Very unique, man. And that's something that later went on to be probably why me and Sean are sitting here with a microphone in front of our faces, is listening to shoot interviews, learning stuff. Maybe we know too much nowadays, but very fun, man. Definitely ahead of his time. Like I said, I think him and Cornette did like kind of make up because he did end up in Smoky Mountain Wrestling for a little bit. He went everywhere. The issue was that there were no more territories eventually, and that ran up and dried up for him. But
the selfishness and monopolizing of world wrestling entertainment in the 80s caused a lot of heartbreak. People outside of the palatial palace known as World Wrestling Entertainment and or the World Wrestling Federation were forced to scramble to try and not just be productive and successful, but to survive. So people like Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, people like Vern Gagne, people like Bill Watts were just simply trying to maintain a level of relevance that WWE started to strip away with their massive explosion and expansion of 1983. So Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert was part of that, and unfortunately he never got a chance, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, to fully show the potential he had as a booker.
Yeah, sadly. RIP. Like I said, Billy Jack Haynes' story is going to get real crazy for those who don't know it tomorrow, excuse me. That'll be airing tomorrow on Vice, so make sure you guys check that out as well. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I see a lot of people come back and at least leave me a message about that series, so enjoy it, man. The 80s is about to be that way in the 20s. Yes. Someone brought up
until wrestling fans, Conrad Cushman, embrace, and a lot of us have, until we embrace the understanding that more than one fruitful professional wrestling promotion is good for the industry, it's going to continue to go downhill.
I would love to see 2, 3, 4. Like, I think there's room than, like I said, TNA. I respect you. Like, it's what it is, but you're holding WWE's water, bro. I don't really view you as a 3. I view you as a spoke of WWE.
That's correct. And I would agree with that assessment.
I don't want someone who's going to, like, help Tony Khan. I want someone who's like, listen, you can come over here and we got something for you too. That's what we need.
That's right.
All right? And I don't want Tony Khan just to run pro wrestling. I may be accused of that oftentimes, but no. Listen, Wednesday, me and Derek, we're going to hold it down 10:15. Come over for the Dynamite review. We're getting closer to Beach Break, which is going to be in Chicago because they always do it in cold cities, but Beach Break's going to be happening. Steel cage match, Jon Moxley, Samoa Joe. And also we got Samoa Joe taking on Claudio this week on Dynamite. So to help build up towards that match, make sure that you're rocking with us. We got some good stuff happening as we move towards Double or Nothing. That'll be at 10:15 or after Dynamite airs. So hop in there, just wait for us, and we'll go live. Shout out to Derek. Raw tonight, we got a little preview. We just mentioned earlier, I'm calling them the Dangerous Alliance. I don't think they have a name yet, with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker. Looks like we also have a women's match with who is it? Io Sky, Roxanne Perez. We have Penta taking on JD McDonough and Rusev taking on Otis. And you had mentioned a face-to-face with Gunther and Pat McAfee as well. So,
programming note, after doing some major twists and maneuvering around and things of that nature, I was able to finally lock down. At first, it was going to be once a month. Then I said it's going to be once a week, but I have been able to lock it down. Hubbonomics will come to you live every other week. That is the way it's going to work with my work schedule and things of that nature. But it will be a consistent thing. It will not be every week, but it won't be every month either. So the first installment of the bi-monthly Hubbonomics took place this past Friday with Crystal. And on the 16th, we will be back. I will be back. Who my co-host will be that night, I don't know. We're working on some things. It may be me by myself. It might be Conrad. I don't know who it might be. But at the end of the day, just to have circled on your calendar, Hubbonomics on May 16th. And the subject will be the WWE expansion of 1980 and comparing it to the WWE monopolies of the 2020s. So we are going really deep into that subject that we just touched base on slightly just now.
Appreciate it. I forgot. Clown wanted me to mention Naito. Naito's last New Japan match. I did see that. It looked like he passed the torch to Tsuji. So yeah. Best of luck to Naito, man. I don't know what he's gonna wind up doing. Definitely gonna be there. Who's getting it this Wednesday on Dynamite? Gore. We don't know. Turn on those turn on those. I almost said Twitter. Turn on those notifications for Hubs. Yes, make sure that you guys put that in. His link is going to be popping up. All of you in here should be subscribed to him. If you're not,
if you're not subscribed to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, show some love. Show some love. It's right there for us, though. We got Raw happening tonight. I'm gonna let Sean take us out with some words of wisdom, and yeah.
The world of professional wrestling is an ugly world. We love it for what we love, and we hate it for what we hate. Because at the end of the day, we realize that our life is better with pro wrestling in it. That's why we're here. But unfortunately, we have the ugly side that can really taint those things. So what I ask of you guys, Conrad, I ask of you, I ask of myself, and all the people here in the chat is just to embrace the good. Have fun. If you're an old school head, rock with the old school. If you want to yeet along with me on the Jey Uso bandwagon, go right ahead. If you want to be straight edge with Conrad, go right ahead. But at the end of the day, just have fun, man, because if you focus too much on the ugly, you won't enjoy it as much. So unfortunately, that's a fact of life. But the good part about it is that pro wrestling is still here. Pro wrestling still has its moments that we still love. And hopefully we can string more and more moments like that together. So with that being said, on behalf of my co-host and friend, Conrad Cushman, my name is Sean Hubbard. He represents everything pro wrestling. I represent Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. And collectively, we are Clash of the Podcast. Go get some merch, y'all. Go get some merch. Go get some merch. Go get some merch. And in the meantime, more importantly than that, see you guys next week, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time for the next edition of Clash of the Podcast. God bless, be encouraged, and that thing called evil, it never prevails. Peace.